semi-mature specimens, as well as much younger trees. And this paper that you have here was a discussion as to whether we had 100 semi-mature trees, i.e. large trees, older trees planted in 2 years' time, or in fact more. And the decision was to have more of the larger trees, that is on top of younger, smaller poplar, birch and thorn.
Can you give us a size? What's a large tree? How high is a large tree?
The semi-mature stock could be what we call in the trade 20-25
feet or meters.
Diameter of the girth, and they're going to be about 5 to 6 meters high when they are planted. And they are going to be finally very large trees, but they will also be mature stock planted large. So you had a breakdown, it was just the discussion of the larger trees, the gentleman had.
What are the next group down? What's the size of them?
They will be probably young feathered trees, about 2.5 meters high. They will be birch and poplar, planted in small groups, but again, repeating along the lines to get the impact of the tall spire, the signature.
So how many trees in total? Let's keep it simple. How many trees in total are you proposing?
I can't work the maths out now. You're looking at a proposal for just one aspect of the planting, but I can work it out and let you know before the consultation closes. Well, no, actually in total 500 is light. Yes, because the young trees will be at 3 to a metre, so that's a lot of young trees, and the poplar and the birch again will be quite close to the roots of the tree. So it will be continuously planted with a variety of age and height, and the majority of the trees will be large, crowned trees.
Has that been approved? Has that been signed off now?
The paper that you have was approved for the enhanced scheme.
Can I ask which body approved it? Was it the council's cabinet? What meeting was it that approved your plan?
It was an internal council meeting.
So it wasn't a meeting held in
of
public?
councillors.
Which councillors? Are any of the councillors here tonight? Were they at the meeting?
I can't comment on the internal meeting.
No, Helen wasn't at the meeting. Which councillors were at the meeting? No. I think there are a few Hanside councillors around here. We've got Helen. Tony's here.
What body made the decision to take the trees down? Was it an officer decision or a member decision? Dennis Lewis was on the council until a year ago, says he knows nothing of it.
The council's business is done through the corporate member for the environment, Councillor Claire Berry, who makes the decisions in conjunction with her colleagues in cabinet.
Was it only one councillor that made it? Was it only Claire Berry that made the decision, or were other councillors involved in the meeting?
Other councillors were involved in the meeting.
Can you tell us what was the name of the meeting? What meeting was it?
I'm not going to comment any more on internal council business.
Is Claire Berry here to answer that question?
Was there any
just a question.
between the council and the people who elect the members on this particular issue? Was there any consultation between the council and consisting of elected members and the public?
No, this is now released.
No, that's right. Now the council said in its 5 promises, we will listen and we will consult. We are accountable to you, the public. They dismally failed to do that, and the less are suffering because of that.
What you must realise, Dennis, is that this is a case of health and safety.
I don't It is a case of miscommunication. That's all.
There can be no consultation if the report considers the trees are dangerous.
Hang on. excuse me, I think I'd like to ask another question, please, Anne, if I may. Is it true when you considered the actual consultant's report that you did consider the possibility of pollarding the poplar trees? However, did you also make the decision that you thought it would be too time-consuming and look untidy? In the same vein, did you also say that it will take 10 years before we have anything like we have now? Yes or no? No.
There was no consideration.
I really don't want to bring out another document, I'm sorry. I'm giving you an opportunity here. Did you say in a document written by you that you felt the option 2 effectively would be too untidy and it would be too time consuming to do on a 2 and 3 year basis? In effect, the same strategy that you implement in Parkway. Did you say that or not, or do the documents and the reports and the advisements
You might have
say
something
that?
where I have written what is to be discussed with Councillor Berry.
Will you make all the reports
I do.
available on your website so we can all have a look tomorrow and pour through it? So we can contradict, frankly, what I think is going on here is diabolical abuse of democracy. It's absolutely outrageous.
We will have put forward options for the councillors to decide and make their own decision.
And with great respect, you're talking about planting mature trees. Fair enough, I go along with that and I agree with every word you say. But you're talking about planting trees a metre high. Now, you know... Some. Now, may I suggest that those metre-high trees don't be planted, because you know the rate of vandalism in this area, and they won't last 5 minutes. They'll have the tops broken off and you'll be wasting money. If you're going to have a replanting plan, then plant mature trees.
There are mature trees.
I know
the lower
that.
plants you're talking about are the hedgerow plants to make the
I agree,
screening
I know that.
of ground to say 15 feet to make the barrier between the cars.
But if you're going to plant metre-high trees, plant mature trees. You're talking about, a minute ago you were talking about 20-foot high trees. 6 metres, 7 metres.
It will be a mix of planting, some trees left to make mature crowns, some smaller understory planting to make the screening. There will be both.
Only there's nothing more distressing than walking around an area and seeing trees broken off at the top, absolutely, by the local, you know.
Well, vandalism is something that we live with all our work.
Look, earlier on, sorry, can I jump in at this point? Because earlier on we were deterred from asking questions because you wanted to stick to the process you'd set out for this evening, and you asked us to save them. But we keep being promised that we'll get detail, but it isn't forthcoming. Now, if you're going to keep replaying the health and safety card, let's come back again. How many of those trees right now have fungus and are a danger to public health? How many right now? Not the fact that Lombardy poplar trees can be at a point in time, because that's true of every tree that exists in the country. How many of those ones right now are infected with a fungus that makes them dangerous to the public?
It's not just any fungus that they would have. Obviously, it's the structure of the trees, especially in the south car park. In the south car park, I would say I can't say give you a number, but a fair proportion of them have a high chance of breakage. Four fell in 2 years. 4 have fallen in 2 years.
How many of those trees are
How
dangerous
many
now?
are dangerous? You've commissioned a survey, you spent public money on consultations and surveys. How many are dangerous? It's a very simple question, and I would have thought it's a fundamental basis of having this discussion.
If I wanted to chop down a tree in my garden, what would you do? Would you come and have a look?
Yes.
And if I said, oh, I've got a feeling it's a Lombard, it's a bit tall.
If it was a poplar, I would say yes, fell it.
Oh, would you? So that's the strategy for the council then?
If you've got a poplar in your rear garden that's over mature,
at a certain height. So all Lombardies to be felled?
at some point they will all have to be felled. Obviously, the trees have a finite life, but if somebody approached me with a really Lombardy poplar, yes, I would allow them to fell it because I want to protect it.
How many of the trees were found to have a fungus in them or to be structurally dangerous at the point they were examined? We've had public money spent on actually employing people to have a look at these.
I mean,
How many?
A lot of the trees on the south car park
How
here.
many?
How many?
You must have done an assessment. What's the exact number?
Well, I think it's that long.
Surely you should have done this.
Must be sort of 70%.